We're back, guys. We're a little happier this week. We beat the Jets. Here we are, the Fantastic Four. Even Jeff made it. Jeff, you made it. I'll never get that right. I always go the wrong way. And we got Nick and we got Jose. We beat the Jets. Not we. The Dolphins beat the Jets. That makes me happy. The way they beat the Jets doesn't make me happy. I'm turning into one of those fans that even a win makes me feel bad.
Right?
Yeah. Nick, you were suffering with me. I know because I was texting you. You were suffering during halftime with
Yeah,
me.
Yeah. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And I'm going to correct you. We did win that game. I'm just going to say the 12th man was huge
Oh,
down the
wow.
stretch.
Yeah. All
I
right.
gotta say that was probably one of the loudest in all the time I've been there. With all our season tickets, all the seasons, I gotta say that was a really a loud crowd. I was impressed by and there was a lot of Jet fans, so there was a lot of energy.
Well, there's always a lot of Jet fans that whenever the Dolphins play the Jets.
Yeah.
Funny on TV, it did not come across as loud at all. I know you guys were saying it was loud. I remember you texting, but it on TV, it looked almost dead over there.
There was a couple of penalties because of us.
Well,
Yep.
The false
Some timeouts for
starts,
us.
yeah, false starts,
Timeouts
delayed
taken.
game. I'm pretty sure that was because of the crowd.
okay,
Yep.
but did the noise have anything to do with Aaron Rodgers getting over 300 yards passing for the first time in over 36 games in which he's played in?
339.
Okay.
No.
Okay. The guy's been nothing but mediocre in the last 3 or 4 years, and you made him look like he was Aaron Rodgers back when the Packers were winning Super Bowls. What was going on there?
Our defense. Our defense sucks.
Why do they have this?
Well, there you go. Have you told the coach this?
Hang on.
I don't know.
Our pass defense is horrific right now. I mean, we have a good pass rush. Our line is good. Well, but we don't have linebackers that can tackle, and we only have like one defensive back that can play football. The rest of them are just standing out there taking up space.
We need another shutdown corner. It's painfully obvious because the cornerback is running out there free with the wide receiver, and a decent quarterback, a seasoned quarterback, can make those passes. So Aaron had a day.
Well, our shutdown cornerback is actually getting burnt off the line.
We need another shutdown. We need two shutdown cornerbacks.
We need to do maybe a little more prep, maybe. I don't know, like study these guys a little bit better, figure out if we need to have help over the top. But
how about covering the guy that runs out in a pass pattern? Let's cover that guy instead of just standing 15 yards away from him. Let's go cover him.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna take anything away from their guys. They do have two really good receivers. Devontae Adams, I mean, he's older, but he still has a lot in the tank. And Garrett Wilson is an up and coming star player over there in New York.
They were gonna win the division, right?
Hey.
Oh, those were only idiots who thought that just were going to win the division this year.
They got infected.
I remember seeing at that beginning of the season. I go, no, this is not.
Rodgers should go like this, and there's like a Packers logo underneath his jersey because they got so many Packers. But
Jeff, you said that our defensive line is getting the pass rush. No, we're not. The Dolphins are next to last in sacks in the NFL. Next to last. Only Atlanta has more sacks. Okay.
If we only had,
we got a few sacks day before yesterday. I'm just waking up from the day before yesterday.
if we could only have signed, if we only had another Pro Bowl level lineman, but we let him go.
Can't pay everybody.
Christian was
Bradley
doing just
Chubb
fine,
supposed
man.
to come back?
Pardon me, Jeff. Say it again.
Bradley Chubb supposed to be coming back. He's our other lineman that can pass rush.
It's
He's supposed to come back for this game, but he didn't.
But
if anything, the Dolphins sacks happened Sunday because the Dolphins coverage was so good. A lot of them were coverage sacks because Aaron Rodgers was back there a long time, and let's face it, Aaron Rodgers is not the most mobile quarterback there is anymore. Because sometimes I go, okay, they got to sack him now. I mean, come on, it took forever.
the Jordan Brooks sack was actually huge. I don't know if you guys noticed, but he missed the sack initially, got right back up and closed in on him from behind and sacked him. I mean, that's just hustle, and that's something you really want to see because a lot of guys, when they miss the sack, they fall on the ground. They're just done with the play. He got right back up.
But look, the defense did the job at the end of the game.
Yeah, the first 3 quarters, they weren't there.
Yeah, they didn't show up for the first 3 quarters, but they sure as hell showed up for the fourth quarter. And they shut him down a few times and let Tua get back in the game. So
I appreciate that.
I really appreciate that, right? And then I really appreciate. Well, we can talk about the offense in a second.
Well, I knew we were going to be in trouble when. Okay, first the Dolphins, they get the ball at the beginning of the game, they march straight downfield, score a touchdown. I'm like, yes. Then they mix the extra point. And I go, oh no, it's going to be one of these games.
That's what I said.
It's going to be one of these games.
I said no. That's usually when the kicker misses anything and everything.
Right. Hey, but he ended up coming back there at the end of the half.
My man.
Right at the half.
He
nailed that one.
That
was
he scored it into the half, and then he tied the game right at the end
with 2 long field goals. Got hats off to him.
I might have to get a Sanders jersey. It's the next jersey I'll get. Sanders.
Before we get to the offense, though, to me, the play of the game was what's his name? The guy who returned that kick 40-some yards for the Dolphins.
Right? Was it right?
Oh,
right.
Washington.
Yeah.
And he ran.
It was Washington.
The dumb kicker tried to pretend he was Pat McAfee and tried to get in his way. And he just Larry Zonka'd him. I mean, it was hilarious.
He trucked him, man. It was beautiful. It was the best thing of the day.
That's going to be on the highlight film.
Yeah, and if I was coach, I'd take a film of that and go, look, they're calling us soft, right? But this is what the Miami Dolphins are doing lately.
Aside from that, there are a lot of missed tackles. Okay, let's face it. This is a game the Dolphins should have won by 2 scores. It should not have been an overtime game. And
I told you they'd win by 6. I told you they were going to win by 6.
Crawl back in it, at the end.
And that one return notwithstanding, the Dolphins on defense look soft. They miss a lot of tackles. I see a lot of arm tackling. All right.
Yeah.
I don't see those hits where you hear it over the TV. You don't hear that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the offense was okay. It was good. They got some things done. It's good to see Tyreek back in the game doing stuff.
Yeah. Targeted.
Fun. Ironically, the guy who's been getting all the hits, catches, and all the targets the last couple of games, Smith, he didn't do anything until overtime.
Right.
Showed up when we needed him.
A lot of play call. I'm just going back to coach, right? A lot of the play calls just don't make sense at the time that he's calling them, and maybe he's just going, "We're supposed to run here, so I'm going to pass." I don't know, right? But some of the play calling was, questionable at best. And then some of it just wasn't, we weren't executing, but we were executing enough to stay in the game. And I think that's what was important. And then in the fourth quarter, I think we were looking for that soft spot on the defense, and we finally found it with Smith on that bubble screen. And it only took like 2 or 3 of those plays, and the next thing it was a pass into the end zone to him at that, right? I mean, that whole drive was him. I mean, Geno Smith is been found on this offense, I gotta say.
Yeah, it looks like the defense have discovered him. The lot of those screen passes, that's what happens when you don't have a good pass protection, which the Dolphins do not have. All right. If they had better pass protection, Dolphins would have 2 more wins this year, at least.
Yeah.
At least. Jeff, you've been quiet. Are you still stewing about the game, or?
No, I'm actually deeply satisfied with the game. I'm satisfied in a couple of ways. First of all, we beat the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
And we beat the Jets at home for the last 10 years, almost 11 years. It's been almost 11 years since the Jets have won in South Florida. That makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, we eliminated the Jets from playoff contention. That
Yeah.
makes me
Get
feel
out.
good. And our playoff hopes are still alive. So I'm satisfied with the game. They did what they needed to do. It was to get a win. Didn't matter how ugly the win is. A win is a win, and our hopes are still alive.
They're 2 games out of a wild card. They need a lot of help, but there's still some hope. Some hope.
I looked at it, and there's a really good chance we can make this happen. Because
Nick's the optimist of the group. The big
2 of these teams are playing each other down the stretch.
Oh,
there's
that's
3 teams. All 3 wild cards are 8-5 now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure the Chargers and the Broncos are the 2 that are going to play each other, and then one of them also has to play the Chiefs to close out the year.
Ooh.
So things could get really interesting.
If that game matters,
We
Chiefs,
just have to do our job and win.
Yeah. But how did Jeff was satisfied? In fact, after the game, I think he was smoking a cigarette after the game. Nick, guys, how did Nick behave? Because at halftime he was texting me, "This ain't good." Did he cheer up later?
Oh my God!
Not till the end of the fourth quarter.
I had to run from Nick. He was chasing me around the tailgate after we came out of the game. I had to run from him.
Oh, so that's when you had your cigarette.
Ground. I finally had to throw him to the ground just to get away from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we pulled the grill out and made hot dogs. Let's rock and roll.
Yeah.
Is that a euphemism for gay sex? Nothing wrong with that, but let me know.
No Diddy.
Oh God, this is not good. They're going to kill us on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube on this one. Next week, Sunday, Houston, a better team than we thought they'd be. You want to hear something really scary?
Mm-hmm.
They're second in the league in sacks.
Ooh.
Right.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. A lot of bubble passes.
Oh, please.
Man, can we incorporate the slant? I mean, come on.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
It's not in the route tree.
I mean, if you're gonna
baby steps.
Yeah, if you're gonna throw a short little pass, can it just be beyond the line of screen?
Well, slants usually go to tight ends because I really don't want to see Tyreek Hill or Waddle going across the middle.
Rocked.
Man,
that could be painful.
I don't care who runs who runs it, but I need something else besides a bubble pass or a bubble screen.
We need to get the run game going again. We are
that would be nice.
Dead in the run game.
Yeah.
I would like to see what I think you're going to see. Let me see how the Dolphins are doing on run.
I want to see blocking and tackling. That's what this team needs. We need to block better and we need to tackle better.
That we need. We need to score more points.
Yeah, than the other team, right?
I don't know, man. This they got a good quarterback. And if the Jets old ass quarterback gave us a fit, I'm kind of afraid that it's going to turn into a shootout. And if it turns into a shootout, then they got a pretty good defense to kind of pin their ears back and come and get the quarterback. Right. This might be one of those knock the quarterback out of the game kind of games.
Well,
right?
With Houston's pass rush, I expect to see Ingold, the fullback, playing a lot in this game, blocking. being
A lot of
kept
two
in
tight end,
for blocking, and maybe even like Nick said, two tight ends
two tight ends
for the
yeah.
extra blocking.
Heavy
Well, we're
dose of
going to take
running.
advantage of that pass rush with the screenplay, not a bubble screen, but the regular old screenplay. You let the
That'll be
guys
great.
in, and then you just drop it right over top of them, and then
Yep.
Yeah, I think Houston's gonna be looking for that and draw plays and all that stuff. It depends. It all depends on when you call the play and how it works. And sometimes it's like 3rd and 15, and you call a screenplay, and you know,
This
9 times out of 10 you get 6-7 yards and you punt. The one
This
time you
week-
get the 20 yards, you look like a genius.
this week is about coaching. This week is we're playing chess. We're not playing checkers. Right. And last week we were playing checkers against the Jets. Right. This week we got to play chess. We can beat these guys, but it's got to be the right combination of plays. We got to get them on their heels. But if they are with their ears pinned back and we're behind by 15, 20 points, 17 points, and we turn into a one-dimensional team, then it might be a long day for the Miami Dolphins. So it just depends. I think it's all up to coaching.
I think it's all if we can get Bradley Chubb back, our pass rusher, then we're going to have a pretty dominant defensive line and a pass rush. You got Chubb on one side, you got Chop on the other, you got Campbell and Sealer in the middle. All of them can rush the passer and get upfield. I think you get all 4 of those guys on the field together, and then also number 91, what's his name, Agba. He's been playing lights out too. So you get those guys pinning their ears back. If we can get a lead, then it forced them to go into passing mode, and then we just pin our ears back and just get sacks. That's going to be the key to the game right there.
Well, it looks like Chubb might be back.
Well, they were saying he was going to be back for the Jets, but then I guess he was a late.
He's practicing. Yeah, he's been practicing. I don't know if they're going to. I don't think they're going to rush him though.
He wasn't ready for the Jets game. I guess they figured they didn't need him for the Jets. Turns out
they're going to need him this week.
Yeah, this is. Oh no, this is the game where all hands on deck.
Yeah,
okay, this is.
I wouldn't expect to see a heavy dose of him though. I'm talking maybe 35% of the snaps.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to.
I'm seeing stuff that says I don't think it's realistic that we even see him this week either, or the explosiveness that he usually has.
They'll use him on pass rush. On 3rd and long, they'll probably bring him in, and if anything, he'll just free up other players or something.
Yeah. They'll have to respect him.
Pull the double team. They'll have to double team him, and then that'll free up Sealer and Chop.
This is crazy, guys. If you at the beginning of the season when you saw the schedule, if you thought, well, the real important game is going to be the Houston game, which is going to make or break the season, you would have said, you're crazy. And here we are.
Yeah,
here we are. This is
every game right now is a must-win game. Now it's just
it's all must-win. But
it's we're in the playoffs right now. We cannot lose a game. Yeah,
the Dolphins got to win now and
need help.
Luck. They need help.
Somebody's got to go on a losing streak.
But this is the game. The other games, the rest of the games on the schedule, the Dolphins should, like on paper, you should win. They'll probably be favored to win. This is the game that's going to decide it, I believe. Anything can happen in the other games, but
you think we're going to lose, Tony? Is that what you're saying? Because even if we win, that wouldn't really.
I'm going to say the Dolphins are going to win.
Right.
It's going to be tough, and if they lose, I'm not going to be surprised.
Yeah.
If the Dolphins lost to the Jets, I would have been pissed and surprised and all that stuff because they're supposed to beat the Jets. The Jets suck. Okay. Yeah. Houston's a good team. If they win, then there's hope.
Yeah, there is hope.
I mean, not just mathematically, but just in general, there's hope for the team. That means they rose to the occasion. And the Dolphins really haven't beaten anybody good this year.
It's been a while.
You
It's
look at
been a
it,
while.
you're going, no, no.
So
It's
I
been
just
a
saw
while.
that post where somebody beat the Bills. Who beat the Bills?
The Rams.
The Rams.
Yeah.
Rams, and then we beat the Rams. So there you go. We
There
beat
you-
somebody.
Yeah, the Bills also beat the Dolphins. The Bills
Come
also
on.
bitch slapped the Dolphins 2 games in a row.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know,
But they
splitting
got
hairs.
Hey,
yeah.
they better start winning their Super Bowls. That's all I got to say.
Super Bowl.
Super
Don't
Bowl.
Bills
challenge
aren't
that.
going
If
to
they're
the
so
Super
good,
Bowl.
they better start winning those Super Bowls, man, because it don't last forever.
Well,
Well,
let's
they
be
better
honest.
win in
Kansas.
Kansas City because that's where they're going. If they
Well, right now, Bill's got the best record, and they beat Kansas City, so the championship goes through Buffalo. But I
Okay.
can see Kansas City going back to the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, KC could beat them
Can-
in knee deep in snow. It doesn't
Beat-
matter. It doesn't
And
matter
the
which
Eagle,
outfit.
to me, it's going to be KC and the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I like Detroit;
again,
they're good, but the
Oh,
Eagles
come
will eat them
on.
up.
No, Dan Campbell, baby.
I like.
Dan
I'd
Campbell.
love to see
Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah, I like Detroit.
I like to see Detroit in the Super Bowl, but the Eagles will kill them. The Eagles are such a team right
Dolphins, Lions. Let's go. Dolphins versus the Lions.
Super Bowl.
now. And I remind you that Dan Campbell was a coach of the Miami Dolphins,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
the
don't
smart
remind
people
me.
thought, "Nah, we're not going to keep him. We're going to let him go. We're going to get a real coach."
Man, he was so impressive while he was here, just in the few games that he had.
Until he lost those last games and we missed the playoffs, and that's what got him fired.
Yeah.
I mean,
He was just a
come on.
caretaker. They had never any intentions of keeping him.
He's
He
working
was
with
an interim coach.
He was just an interim coach. And he was going
Then we got what, Flores? It was Flores after that.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I think so.
And Flores was just a placekeeper too. While they tanked for Tua, he was supposed to lose those games. He ended up winning, and everybody fell in love with him. And then they fired him anyway because that was always the plan.
Yeah.
They just needed to put somebody in there as a placeholder so we could lose games, get the draft pick, get Tua, and then go get our coach.
And Jeff and I have talked about that. I think the biggest mistake that we made was going after McDaniel as the head coach. We should have offered him the offensive coordinator with the ability to call his own plays. And he would have bit that in a second. He would have said, "Oh, I get to call my own plays in the NFL," right? And he could have came under Flores. We would have had the defense, we would have had the offense, and we would have already had our Super Bowl by now.
Nobody
Right.
wanted to work with Flores, though.
Well,
Yeah,
that was
that
at
was
the
the
end.
hardest
That was
yeah.
at the end, yes.
All throughout.
Right?
No,
You
he
know,
couldn't hire anybody who had any real
Nobody wanted to work.
experience.
That's why he
And that's
came
why
into
they
play.
struggled.
Yeah. But McDaniel, if you just hang the carrot of I'm gonna let you call plays in the NFL, he would have came and he would have bit on that in a second. He would have been our offensive coordinator for 2-3 years, and it would have been a different. He would have connected with Tua like he did now,
Mhm.
and it would have been a much better team, I think.
Yeah. Flores.
That's where we made our mistake.
Do you guys notice that? Remember the big lawsuit Flores had? It kind of like disappeared.
Yeah, what happened to that?
It was settled
Yeah, they probably
finally.
I wonder what happened.
They settled? Is
Yeah,
that
they
what
probably
Well,
settled.
Flores did that to himself. He's the one that made himself the pariah on the team. I remember that last game that he coached. Nobody would come within 15, 20 yards of him. The assistant coaches wouldn't talk to him. He was out there all alone on an island. And I knew at that point, I said, there's something going on.
Well, he was bad mouthing, whether you like to or not. He was bad mouthing the starting quarterback, the franchise quarterback, whether you
Well, he
like
was
him or not.
insulting him in meetings and stuff.
Yeah, so nobody liked him.
he thought he
I
thought
like
he was
him.
Belichick
I like that.
Or-
before this, but after the Super Bowls, right? But you got to win some Super Bowls before you can be Belichick. So
Yeah,
He did it to himself.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fact that he was already a placeholder, but if he could have kept that team together, he could have stayed.
Yeah.
And it's just he did it to himself.
Yeah.
Belichick also, he's mean, he's a curmudgeon, he's critical, he's dour, but the players know he has your back. He was loyal to his players.
I
Flores,
thought we had that with Flores. I still remember the one game against the Bengals when who was it? The gunner from the Bengals just dropped Jakeem Grant twice on the punt return when he called fair catch.
Mm-hmm.
And then Flores led the charge across the field where they started fighting with the other team's players. And I'm like, all right, this looks like the coach for us. And then
Flores is a great defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Let him call the defensive plays.
Yeah.
That's what he does. But don't let him
That's what Jose was saying. And we would have had that Flores defense.
That's my point. We would have had Flores's zero trust defense, right? And McDaniel's offense. I mean, I think it would have been amazing. That
destroying teams.
Exactly what we needed. And then Flores could have just said, "You can have the offense," and it would have been in capable hands.
Just like remember Ditka's Bears. Ditka ran the offense, but Buddy Ryan, the defense was his. He would even let Ditka go to the defense meetings.
No point. That's my point.
Yeah. And when they won the Super Bowl, they carried Ditka off on the shoulders, and Buddy Ryan, the defense carried Buddy Ryan off. So, anyway, guys, Houston, we need our. I'm not even going to go over our scores from last week because nobody got close. Nick got close in point differential, but other than that, nobody else
got it
close.
on the money. On the money, baby.
So we'll start with you.
Win.
Pick what do you think? How's the game going to end, Nick?
Oh, how's the game going to end? We're going to score 34 points.
Okay.
To 27. It's going to be another one-score game.
Wow.
It's a shootout. That's a shootout.
Yeah. I need the defense to show me something before I can lower that number.
I heard that grunt of derision there from Jeff. What do you say?
I'm predicting 24-21 Dolphins.
24-21. Close one. Low score. Sum up for an NFL game. That's kind of low scoring. Jose, come on, man. Come on.
What do you think?
You're gonna get it wrong, so just throw out some numbers. Okay.
My heart says Miami. Okay. Uh-huh. My gut says, the Texans. And it's as much as I hate to say that, I just don't see us all of a sudden pulling it all together. I don't see that. But I'm a homer. And I'm going 27-21 Miami in a surprise. Right, everybody is not expecting it. It's going to be a huge upset. Is that a Monday?
What? Sunday 1:00.
Sunday 1:00.
Sunday 1:00. Okay, yeah. They're going back.
That's prime time for us.
Yeah. Guys, believe it or not, Dolphins 32, Texans 20.
There you
go. Okay.
All right.
There you go.
I'm going to go all in with McDaniels. He's going to pull something out of his tight little butt. And the defense is going to start scoring points against this team. They don't know what's going to hit them. Jeff's laughing because he knows it's true.
You guys watch his press conferences?
Talking about his tight little butt.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing about.
No Diddy again.
You're the one who's smiling and thinking about it.
Twice in one show.
We got any baby oil? Where's the baby oil?
Okay, guys, all of our fans out there, hit like, subscribe, the comments. We love the comments. Okay. Go ahead, snark us. We don't care. I'm a big boy. You might make Jose cry, but he'll get over it.
I'm getting old, man. My hormones are all messed up.
Yeah. I'll even throw out the question to our fans. Does McDaniels have a tight little butt?
Will he be here next year?
Yes.
That will be discussing after this game.
Yes.
Next week.
He'll be here.
wins this game, his chances are good of returning.
Yeah.
Really good.
He
If he
loses, he'll
does,
be
if
here.
he doesn't, Belichick still hasn't signed with UNC yet, has he?
No.
Can we take credit for getting him a
you
job?
That's a
bring
big if.
Belichick, but as a GM.
Capital I, capital F.
All right, guys. See you next week from the Fintastic Four.
All right.